right, what's up everyone? Today's video is going to be all about minimalism. That's my challenge for the month, my new moon challenge. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Alec Fanon. I'm the founder and operator of the Fanon organization. We have 7 verticals in capital, media, technologies, multiple industries, nonprofit foundations, services, and some other great stuff. The main thing I want to talk about today is going to be minimalism, because in life you've got so many things that will take your attention. There's so many things that will pull you in 100 different directions, and especially with entrepreneurship. So speaking today to my entrepreneur followers mainly, but I think minimalism is good for anybody. So and this is kind of a perfect example. Sitting by the pool, there's a lot of outside noise. There's people, they're living their lives. They're doing what they want to do for the day. They want to do, their obligations, their schedule, their family, their friends, their mindset. And with everything going on, I think it's very important when you have so much going on to simplify your life. And I think there's an importance of simplification as well as minimalism. I think simplifying your life is important, but sometimes when you simplify your life, you don't get to enjoy some of the things that life has to offer. Whereas minimalism, I think, is a concept that I believe in, where you could still reap the benefits of everything that the world has to offer and everything that God's built, but you could have it to where it doesn't stress you out and it doesn't put any extra burden onto your shoulders. So for this month, for example, in minimalism, the easiest things you could basically do to tackle that, very simple things. Declutter. You could start with your closet, you could start with your emails, you could start with your phone and all your digital world, and they're pretty much your entire digital library. Some other easy ways to kind of minimalize things is like I said, your closet. So I have about 45 hoodies from Chicago that now I'm obviously in Florida. I use maybe 1 or 2 of them when I get out of the shower and I'm just chilling. I obviously don't wear them outside. The only reason I have sleeves on is because I just did some tattoo work and I don't want to get it burnt. So starting with your closet, for example, your clothes. I was looking at my folded laundry today and I saw all these different colors. And what I got from that was just like a mess of an identity, for example, or a mess of an ego. And I just didn't feel like it fits me. I'm seeing oranges, blues, reds, blacks, whites, grays, greens, rainbows, to me, that just didn't really identify me as who I want to be. So what I'm going to do after I'm done filming this video is I'm actually going to go and I'm going to bring a lot of my clothes to a nonprofit nearby, and we're going to donate a lot of my clothes. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify to just high quality clothing and clothing that I believe in. Starting off with things that are just like cotton only, linen, high vibrational clothing. Get rid of any of polyester, latex, things like that I've had from either sports or you name it. But for example, even this shirt, this is a perfect Florida shirt, but not necessarily like a high vibrational thing, and I don't think it identifies me how I want it to. So easy step 1 for minimalism is going to be in your closet and the clothes you wear. That's kind of like your physical realm. So I would say best way to think about this is going to be physical realm, digital realm. So if we start in just the physical realm, what can you do? Your car, for example. If your car is an absolute mess, I don't know if this has to do with minimalism, but more just cleanliness, but if your car is a mess, a lot of other things are. Or if you're using these little areas like your room or your car and you're making them a mess, but your outside world looks super clean, I think that's a sign of depression, for example. And trust me, I'm at fault for these things, so don't think that I'm perfect. If you were to open up my bedroom at any time, you'll see a pile of clothes on the floor that are clean and I just have yet to fold them. My car I usually keep pretty clean, but at the same time, there's not a lot of people that come into my car, so I don't mind if I have a vacuum for a few days, but realistically, what does it take to go at the end of the day, stop at the gas station, have a full tank, come back here, I have a vacuum on site, do a quick vacuum. Essentially, I could do that every single day, and it would take a legit 5 minutes. I don't think it's a smart idea to do it every single day because, time's important, and but also schedules and, you know, staying true to what you want to do in your day is very important. I think it kind of goes against the idea of minimalism because you're trying to pull things from your schedule and to you know, minimalize your life. But a car is a great idea in the physical world. On top of the physical world, I would say it's your friends and your family and the people you're around. So I would say, removing friends that don't care to talk to you, removing family that are negative, and then, for example, your coworkers and your job, don't let that seep into, your life. So minimalizing the communication you have with, let's say, coworkers, minimalizing the work that you do for an hourly basis, minimalizing the stuff that's just wasting your time. There's probably some other areas in the physical realm, but I think it's the whole idea of what I want to do minimalism for this month was, I would say, more so for the digital realm. I, on any daily basis, have hundreds of emails on a daily basis. I have, hundreds of emails as well across all of the Fedon organization. And I've now found ways to basically have agents monitor these things, minimalized to where I don't have to be the one that has to go through and read all the emails, respond to them, you name it. In the digital realm, you could definitely get caught up. For example, notifications. I make sure to have all notifications off on my devices so that I don't see all these red notifications on all these apps, and it pulls your attention, from a task that you weren't even trying to do or accomplish. So, super important to do that. I also most recently deleted all of my apps on my phone. So if you were to hop on my phone right now, there's not a single app besides on the home bar at the bottom. I have where you could call, messages, Telegram, and email. My quick access to those. Telegram is how I communicate with all my AI agents. And then obviously if I need to text or call anybody, I could do that. And then emails are very important. But I did replace it with Superhuman email app, which I've been loving so far. I think it's the last 3 or 4 weeks I've been using it. And it's minimalized the shit out of emails, which is really great. So the digital space. I'm also doing that across all social media. So I did on TikTok today. I unfollowed every single person besides my family and my organization. Doing the same on LinkedIn. I follow 2,000 or 3,000 people on LinkedIn. Gonna get rid of all of that. Instagram is about 3,500 people. The only difference is I actually enjoy getting inspiration on Instagram from people. But I think that's also me kind of falling back to following people and always needing some type of approval, or I need to see what they're up to so I could copy it. And I'm really trying to remove that because it hasn't worked and it's not what I'm enjoying. I really want to do what I want to do on a daily basis. For example, this, so this is going to be on a monthly basis. I'm going to do these videos. So if you're curious to what this even is, every new moon I have a new objective, and I've started doing this year, and it's been awesome. And this month was minimalism. Some other ones was specifically for finance and day trading, and that was a specific thing I just wanted to get really good at. And now I've kind of planned out the entire year of new moon objectives, and I realized you really only have 12 or 13 chances to do big things in a year. And I always overestimated how much you could do in a year and underestimated how much you could do in a lifetime. And I always thought, man, you got 365 days, you could do 365 different great things. No. You could do 12 or 13 awesome, huge milestone changes in your life in a year, for sure. Every new moon, you get the opportunity to do it. By the full moon, you should be hitting, all right, I'm understanding this now. I've been at this for about 2 weeks, boom, and then that full moon hits, and now moon starts to go away. You've got another 2 weeks to basically wrap up that project, and then boom, another new moon starts, you're on to another new project. And that doesn't mean you have to basically stop the previous one, but you you definitely want to start something new. You want to plant a new seed and, you know, keep that momentum going from the previous ones. So minimalism this month, you know, is going to be huge for me. I'm already a pretty minimalist guy. Like if you would see what I have and how I live and everything, it's very simple. But the whole idea of why I want to strip everything away is for a pretty key reason. I kind of want to get to just a base layer. I've always thought about like what I could add, you know, additional pipelines, additional businesses, additional agents, and now I think it's like, let's take a step back. Let's no longer keep adding right now, and I want to remove all the bad. And I think that's what minimalism really defines. It's like, it's not like, you know, I want this sleek look in my apartment. No, it's like I want to remove alcohol, drugs, all the things that just aren't a part of my life and what I don't believe, you know, represents me and my reputation. And so it's going to be all about, I think, a removal process for the next, you know, few weeks. Removing, and then once we're at a base layer of like, all right, this is my minimalized life, this is where I want to go from here, then we could start to expand and build again and start adding on top, because then we have a foundation of exactly where we want to be and we're not building on top of bullshit. And I think that's kind of how the last few years is like, a lot of great creativity and stuff and innovation, but we're building on bullshit. So this month's gonna be huge. I think minimalizing my life digitally and physically will seep into you know, an awesome future. I hope minimalism can help you guys. So give some things a shot. You know, whether that's your clothes, your closet, or your digital life. You know, it's gonna help. You know, there's no way that it'll make things worse. If you like to hoard, I'm sorry, this is probably not going to be the best concept for you. Anyways, I think that was pretty much everything I wanted to say with minimalism, and for the objective for this month. I wish you guys all the best on it, and can't wait to do another one of these videos. Hopefully I'll get better kind of just spieling off the rip to you guys on the new moon objective. So I also hope that this was recording. If not, I'm going to be furious. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I do post vlogs every single day, so you get to see what I do on a daily basis. I'll start posting these on a monthly basis, and then some cool things to look out for. A ton of new podcasts coming soon. Live streams, radio will be launching soon. All our merch is almost finished. All our brand new websites across the whole Phenon organization are almost complete. We have some awesome ventures in the works. So thanks for sticking around, guys, and appreciate all your guys' support. We'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.